Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates. I guess my camera over here is broken, so we'll stick to this one instead. And I couldn't be bothered to wait for that entire intro. But I hope you guys are doing well, my friends. I was a bit busy last night, so I didn't have time for the Ahsoka weekly stream. But I figured we'd talk now. And maybe some Starfield. I don't know. I haven't played. Obviously, I haven't played Starfield, or actually, some people do have early access, but I haven't played it. I haven't seen a single snippet of gameplay of Starfield. But I'm still wondering if maybe it would be a fun game to stream. We shall see. Nevertheless, mostly Ahsoka talk. That's for sure. But yeah, Luke, how's it going? Commander Maverick, Rebel, Noah, hello there, Martin and Helixion and David. We've got David and Luke, both in the chat, with their matching hello there's. Are you guys hearing the background sound? What the fuck is that neighbor doing something? It sounds like almost drilling, sawing, I don't know, some machine. Kind of annoying sound, but oh well. I'm on the last season of Clone Wars. That is awesome. The last season is probably the best. I would say, I think it's a little bit slow at times. Isn't there like the first section with Ahsoka and those like twins on Coruscant, which is kind of boring? But then everything with Maul, Mandalore, Anakin, Ahsoka, that's like 10 out of 10. Max, hello there as well. Hope you're all doing well. I just had my Starfield Constellation Edition arrive today with the smartwatch. Wait, I honestly, like I said, I don't know much about Starfield, but is that like the collector's edition? You get a smartwatch with it? That's interesting. I mean, usually it's like normal edition, deluxe edition with some digital stuff, and then it's a collector's edition with maybe some physical prop or something. Or do you actually get a smartwatch? That's interesting. I did apply to Bethesda's like key mailer thing yesterday, so I hope I can get access. Like obviously early access is way too late for that, but it would be cool to at least get the game for free and so I could stream it. But I don't know. I don't have any connections at Bethesda, and also the Nordic community manager at Bethesda quit today. So I literally don't know who to contact. Very strange timing, I gotta say, but yeah. I know, right, David? That scene with Ahsoka outside was a little bit goofy, but 100% Clone Wars. It reminded me of that episode where, like, Anakin is... They're like on... They're like... They've got ATTEs walking outside a ship or something, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it definitely felt like something out of Clone Wars. Yeah, it's like I've seen a lot of people. I saw some complaints like they should have been animated instead. And I'm like, no, I think everything looks good so far. If I'm gonna be completely honest. Luke, thank you very much for the 2 months in the Senate. Much appreciated, my friend. Much appreciated. Now that Ahsoka is out, what show are you most hyped for in the future? I mean, I'm still kind of most hyped for the continuation of Ahsoka. There's still 5 episodes left, but if you're talking other shows, we don't have too much to pick from, do we? It's like, isn't it just like Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte? Isn't that all? Or am I missing something? Bad Batch season 3? I don't know. I don't really know what to expect from neither Acolyte or Andor season 2. Yes, actually, I'm probably gonna say Andor season 2. Because the other ones I don't know really what to expect from, to be honest. Oh yeah, with outside of Star Wars, Loki season 2 definitely high up there. Actually, The Boys season 4, I guess it is, if I'm not mistaken. The Boys season 4, that's definitely high up there on my list. Wait, Thomas, is that the whole Grievous and Gungan stuff? Is that in the last season? That's earlier, right? Where they like actually capture him, but then Dooku captures Anakin or something. It's kind of weird. All those stuff in the Clone Wars just feels so low stake because oh, Grievous gets captured. Well, he's gonna be back for Revenge of the Sith. Anakin gets captured. There's no danger for any of those characters. But I mean, maybe that wasn't the point. But yeah, pretty neat that the Gungans actually managed to capture Grievous. Yeah, R-rated Star Wars could definitely be interesting for sure. Andor season 2 will be ages away. They had to stop filming due to the strike. The Boys show creator said he won't let it release until after the strike is resolved, even though it's ready to go now. Okay, so Andor is far away. The Boys is, I guess, closer depending on when or how the strike is resolved. That's my guess at least. 1 second, let me grab a drink. What did you think about the last episode of Ahsoka? I really enjoyed it. Honestly, it started off a little bit slow, and I was like, is there going to be any story progression in it? And then I realized, oh wait, 37 minutes has already passed. So I think it was just it was a good action. It feels the only thing it made me afraid of is that they're gonna drag out this stuff too much. Where like the Astra Thrawn stuff is not gonna happen until like I don't know last episode. But rumor is we're gonna get like Anakin stuff in episode 5, so that's not too far off. I just hope that the story will progress fast enough, but also I don't. It's like hard. I don't want it to just be like, oh, they find Thrawn, they kill Thrawn, and then it's over. But obviously, that's not gonna happen because they did say that Thrawn is gonna be in that Filoni movie, as far as I know. But I liked it. In short, I really liked it. There were some great moments. I love the Ahsoka outside stuff, and there was definitely some. I really like the world building that they do with their Mando series, like getting to show Andor too. To be honest, just the way the Empire worked back then, and here it's instead the way that the New Republic works and its incompetence, which like gives you more understanding to why the First Order came kind of out of nowhere. So yeah. Oh shit. Why did I open this over my shirt? Now I've got nice G Fuel splashes all over the shirt. Not very smart. Oh well, oh well. I know. I love how they just expand upon how the Jedi actually. What? No more spoiler comparisons. Wait, I'm so confused. What are you talking about? You should probably not watch the stream if you haven't seen Ahsoka, as it will contain spoilers. But yeah, Young, like just the way they expand, like they gave the whole fighting when the blind a name. They show how Hyang actually trained, like with the 4 lightsabers, and then the fact that it's like tracked the hits through the whatever projector things was really cool. So yeah, I feel like Hyang is just great. I mean, how is he thousands of years old and we barely like he should have been in the prequels, but obviously he was an after construction. But still, Young, I'm absolutely loving Young, and I don't know why he kind of reminds me of Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory, but that's probably because they're both like he's a programmed robot that thinks only logical and not by feelings, and I guess that's technically exactly what Sheldon does. But yeah. What Star Wars show is next after Ahsoka? Skeleton Crew, because that's the only that should still be this year, as far as I know, actually. But I mean, they. I'm thinking they're gonna start ramping up the marketing for that after Ahsoka is out fully. But yeah, I haven't really caught up to the whole writers strike and everything. As far as I understand, Disney and other companies are treating their writers poorly. But then I'm like, how much do writers make? And they're already losing money on the Star Wars stuff and the Marvel stuff. So I don't know. It doesn't bode well for if they're gonna have to increase their salaries and pay them better. Like, or I don't know, how are they gonna make it profitable? And how little are the writers actually getting paid? How's it going, Janice? Acolyte is not coming out this year, Martin. I think it's next year, if I'm not mistaken. That's a good point, David. I mean, he could be around the Acolyte for sure if they're anything in the Jedi Temple. They could. No, actually, Dawn of the Jedi. That's probably a bit too early because it's not that old. He's a couple of thousand years old, but it's not however many thousand years the old the Jedi is. I don't remember. Yeah, the streaming service model. Yeah, it's not profitable, but it seems to work. I don't know how. What's the best solution to like? I don't know. I think it's like it's great. People complain there's too many streaming services, but on the other hand, I think for the amount of content we get and what it costs to pay for like your normal cable, which I don't anymore. Like the like for instance, when I lived at my parents many years ago, they had cable or whatever you call it in English, and that costs as much as maybe 5 streaming services do now, and I'd say I get way more content from 5 streaming services than you got from cable. So yeah, I don't know what the best solution is to like, well, being able to provide, because I love that we're getting all these Star Wars series. Marvel series, I'm glad that Star Wars is doing better than Marvel. I saw like the viewer numbers was way better for Ahsoka than like Miss Marvel or Secret Invasion or anything like that, which is good. Star Wars deserves more views because it's better. I'm not saying Star Wars is better than Marvel. Well, obviously I think so, but like quality-wise, I feel like Star Wars is kind of going up a little bit now. The series are doing pretty well. Obi-Wan did obviously the best. But Marvel had its peak around like Infinity War and Endgame and Spider-Man, and then it's kind of been going downhill, especially the series. Loki season 2 might be a nice boost again, but it's been like more quantity over quality, whereas Star Wars, in my opinion, is still keeping the quality high. There's definitely stuff to criticize in all the series, but it's still to the point where I'm excited to see the new Star Wars stuff. What's better, Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones? I can't choose. Both are good. The thing is, I probably think Attack of the Clones. I don't know. I'm just trying to like. Okay, I don't know right now which one I prefer, but I remember as a kid. I remember that I thought.
I am
Alexion! Thank you very much, my friend, for joining the Senate. Much appreciated. First time senator, as I see. Welcome, welcome. Get those sheaves in the chat, guys, for Alexion. Welcome, and thank you for supporting the channel. But yeah, as a kid, I remember that I thought Phantom Menace was quite slow. From the point where they arrive at Tatooine to when the race actually happens, I thought was so freaking dull as a kid. It was so slow, nothing happened. But that was just back then. Subscription services just suck overall. I disagree. I think there's too many of them, but I much prefer to pay and just... I don't know how else it would be. I mean, would they just be like, oh, here's a Blu-ray you gotta buy with Ahsoka the entire season at once? Because that I would not like. Or if we're talking about getting it back on traditional cable where you have to sit down and watch it at a specific time, fuck no. So I don't know. I don't see how it could be any better than subscription services or streaming services. To be honest, I don't know what the solution would be. Thomas, so you haven't seen any of the Ahsoka stuff? Yeah, it's gonna be hard to not spoil you. I mean, I feel like none of the. It depends on what you call spoilers. I'll say that no characters have died so far. I don't know, that might be a spoiler, but you know, I feel like Mando and stuff have bigger plot twists so far. But the studios have traditional creative accounting where they say movies never made a profit to avoid paying residuals. Now they hide profits from streaming services. It's not as transparent. Man, that just sounds complicated, if I'm gonna be honest. I barely understand what that means. Thank you, Alexion. I appreciate it. And congrats on the job as well, Alexion. Thank you for. I really appreciate you all sticking around the channel. Janice, I don't disagree, but I would absolutely hate to be locked to a schedule like that. I mean, I'd much rather prefer it like now, where it's every Wednesday. I know it's Ahsoka, but it doesn't matter if I watch it at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. So, no, I would not want to go back to watching at a fixed time. Well, technically, Thomas, you gotta watch Rebels too. I would start watching Ahsoka now, or it depends on if you're planning. Because I wouldn't say that the end of Ahsoka really has much to do with. No, I mean the end of Clone Wars has much to do with Ahsoka at all. To be honest, I would say either you can jump straight into Ahsoka so you can avoid the spoilers, or if you actually want to get the Star Wars lore background, I would say Rebels is way more important. Even though I do think Rebels is a little bit slow. It's not my favorite series, but it's just like with Clone Wars. There's a lot of filler episodes and a lot of arguably boring stuff, but there's also great stuff, you know? I'm sure someone has made a list of the important episodes. Yeah, Thomas, in that case, yeah, I'm sure there are some great videos. Maybe Alex and Molly, Star Wars Explained, has made a video like everything. I think they made some good, like everything you need to know about, and then every character. I think that would probably be enough to at least get an idea of what the characters are, who's Hera, who's you know. Are you excited for Skeleton Crew? I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know anything about that series. I feel like I know more about the Acolyte, but Skeleton Crew, like I'm excited for a new Star Wars series, but kind of with an open mind, as in I don't really know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, why is there some weird pillow in my G Fuel tub? No, that's the don't eat it, by the way. I think that's pretty clear. It's moisture. I don't know what it's called. It's in most powdery things you buy. There's a little pillow that's supposed to absorb any potential moisture. Because obviously, if you get moisture into the powder, it goes clumpy and bad and stuff. So there's always a little bag or pillow in the G Fuel tubs, and I think it's been so in like when some other powdery things I've had in the past. Yeah, to just absorb moisture. Don't eat it. Ray Stevenson, rest in peace, indeed. Man, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they've planned for his character. If they wanted to keep him moving forward, but I feel like it's a shame because he's. I don't know. I love that character. It's a great job. It wouldn't surprise me if he dies anyways, because they want to, you know, they want to have a finale to this season, and I don't think they can kill off Thrawn. since he's gonna be the big villain for like the Filoni movie and stuff like that. Um, but they still want to have some type of ending, so maybe his death is gonna be there. That's true, Martin. That was a pretty nice callback to that. Do you think Star Wars Outlaws is going to be bigger than Jedi Survivor? Yes, because it seems to be more focusing on open world and exploring big areas and stuff. Depends on what you mean with bigger. Like, I would imagine that maybe if you want to rush the story in Outlaws, that's going to be shorter than Survivor. But instead, it's going to be way bigger in terms of how much you can do in Outlaws. But yeah, tricky to say. Wait, writer strike is down to studios wanting to use AI to write bunch of scripts and get fewer, poorer paid writers to rewrite them. Then residuals for stream. What does residuals mean? That's the one. I don't know what residuals mean. The AI part, I'm like, I don't want them to just. If they just straight up fire the writers to use AI, that's wrong. But if they're building up new stuff and it works with the AI, it works right in the AI, and then having real writers fix that up. I mean, isn't that just technological evolution? Like, if some jobs in the future become obsolete because of AI, same thing as a lot of factory workers became obsolete because of robots. Isn't that just the evolution of things? I mean, if there's always a more cost efficient way to do it, well, that's the way it is. Okay, I know I might be completely wrong here, but I mean, if they just start firing people left and right to use AI and the quality becomes shit, then obviously it's wrong. But if the AI compared to the AI coupled with people being able to like look over the AI script and improve it, if that's a same type of quality, I mean, I don't blame them. You always gotta be more cost efficient uh, with any job. Really, what no matter what it is, if AI can do it, or like I started using AI for generating thumbnail images. I mean, so I don't know. It doesn't work too well anymore, or yet. It works for some stuff for my second channel, usually stuff that doesn't have face details in it, but it's the, yeah. I'm glad to hear, Janice. I'm glad you're loving the sour PewDiePie flavor. I know you said you didn't want something too sweet, and I think that's like the perfect one. This one you would probably also like, but this one's hard to get in Europe without connections. But I think this one is probably also available as a powder. I don't know. But it's literally called Sour Power, so I like sour stuff. It's perfect. Oh, I get it, David. Oh, residuals. Yeah, that's what we call timpengar in Swedish, I think. So yeah. Problem is that I'm finishing it too quickly. That's 40 servings in there. How much do you drink? Well, I'm happy you're liking it. How much did it cost you with the shipping and like did you have to pay? I feel like you should not be have to pay any import tax anymore because they've started taking out the tax when you buy it on G Fuel's website. So I feel like if you then get a code to get it for free, that should include it. I don't know. Because if you only have to pay the shipping, I'd imagine it wasn't too bad for what you got for the 40 servings and such. But yeah. Are you playing Starfield? No, I applied to Bethesda's code thing yesterday. I would love to stream it. I don't know if that's something you guys would want to see. I mean, it's not Star Wars, but it's space. It's pretty much as close as we'll ever get to a massive open world Star Wars game. So yeah, if I get access to it, I don't know. I have no connections at Bethesda, and the Bethesda like Nordic community manager, I guess, quit today. Really strange timing. So I don't know I tried to apply to their like key mailer website, haven't heard anything back, and I feel like I probably won't hear anything back because there's probably like too many people applying. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt, Janice. I felt like it's a game that's going to take a lot of time and investment, and I don't know if I would play it off stream, but I figured doing it together with you guys would be very fun. 10 euros for the shipping, and that's all. Well, that's a good deal then. You get 40 servings of energy drink for 10 euros, so that's like 25 cents each. Pretty good. Yeah, got to see Jay. What do you think? I feel like Jason kind of has to be force sensitive. Whether or not he's just gonna be a random background character that pops up, or actually goes on to be something in the future, tricky to say. I mean, it's like 25 years or something until the sequel, so maybe he would be someone who Luke would train, and then he gets killed by Kylo. I don't know. And now I'm just, or he could just not be force sensitive. Who knows? I don't think everyone who's a child to a force sensitive person is automatically force sensitive. So maybe he's just gonna become a pilot. Who knows? All right, Obi. Hello there, by the way, Obi. Good to see you. Oh, I just didn't see your comment up there. But yeah, don't get spoiled, Obi. It's not too bad spoilers for episode 3, but still. But yeah, I'll see if I can get a hold of Starfield. I think the early access starts like today, as far as I understand. But I might send a tweet to like Bethesda Nordic, and because yeah, that key mailer website, I feel like there's probably not even looking at the application. I'm not sure how I feel about Sabine and her Jedi training. Why couldn't she just be a Mandalorian? The thing is, I kind of, that they train her with a lightsaber, I think makes sense. But I think Ahsoka is kind of going down the wrong route. Like the whole thing with the blinded, that doesn't make sense for someone who does not have the Force. You can't force out the Force. On the other hand, the Jedi can very much train them in being proficient with a lightsaber. I feel like that's even what Huyang, like why he says maybe you shouldn't use the whatever the style was called again, because she can't use the Force. So don't try to train her to be a Jedi. Train her to be a Mandalorian slash Jedi duelist thingy, and maybe that's what Ahsoka will learn. That's kind of how it felt like when they were failing with the ships to shoot down, and Hyang said like, yeah, the way you're both acting, we're gonna get killed or something like that. And you can see that Ahsoka thinks for a moment, and then she's like, okay, Sabine, what do you want me to do? And when they listened to Sabine, they did well. So I think Ahsoka is gonna have to let go a little bit of the whole Jedi way if she's gonna successfully train Sabine and focus more on Sabine's strengths instead of just trying to do it the Jedi way, if that makes sense. No, that was not in Rebels, Janice. That was something that we haven't seen. 2 a.m. for Europe, 1 a.m. UK. Okay. And no, Obigom, not that we know of. Rebel Dom, that basically sounds like Battlefield Star Wars, kind of, which is kind of what Battlefront was, but not really. It was more, Battlefront is more arcadey than Battlefield, but it sounds like you're looking for like an actual Battlefield Star Wars, you know, more gritty, nitty, you know, stuff like that. That's a good point, David. I mean, that's kind of something we've learned over time that everyone has a little bit of the Force. Like, for instance, maybe every single good pilot, like Han Solo, has a little bit of Force in him. And not the way he wields it like a Jedi, but that just gives him good reflexes and stuff. That's the way you have good reflexes in Star Wars. And that's why Sabine is a good fighter. But maybe that also means that when you don't have that mega proficient force wielding, you should not be trained the same way. You can't just force someone to block out your sight and try to swing your stick. Like, instead of focus on having your sight and maybe using your reflexes with that. Well, Janice, is quite a few years between Rebels and Ahsoka. And I think they're trying to keep those background stuff light, where we might not... I'm not sure what in particular you're referring to that you feel like you forgot, but I haven't seen Rebels for many years either. So I don't really get a lot of the references. Like, for instance, I made a clip yesterday, which is actually doing surprisingly well, about that stupid-ass senator, and I haven't even watched Star Wars Resistance. I just Googled who that was, basically. Oh, damn, the clip today is actually doing horribly bad. Guess maybe a bad title. Is this game playable? Wait, what game? Oh, Starfield? It's game playable with an RX 570. I have no clue. There's probably some good website like, can you run it? I will go there. I haven't played Galactic Contention yet. I've heard it's really fun. I haven't played Squad either, the game it's like the mod for, but it does sound cool. Yeah, that's a good point, Alexion. That might also be a good reason to try and have that calm training with her. Oh, really? Blob Snail? I've completely missed that. He's a good asset for the Swedish team, so that's not good. How much does the success of your videos affect your mood? That's a good question, Janice. It does actually do a lot. And that's kind of the downside of doing it as a job, or feeling the pressure of having to deliver like views in order to even be able to pay your bills. And that's kind of the worst part, honestly, of doing YouTube. You know, like last year when I was reckoning in millions of views a month on the Clips channel, I was like, yeah, this is great, you know. And then now when it's not doing very well, it's like, oh, and you see every clip that's doing bad, and you're like, oh, fuck, this is not, why am I doing this, kind of. So yeah, it definitely affects my mood to some degree, I will say. I gotta change the title of my last clip to something more interesting. Oh, really? Blob Snail? I didn't... Wait, did Sweden play yesterday? Or was that in his club game? Obegom, you're right. I just gotta do Padme's crotch. Every month I gotta do a new video of Padme's crotch. I think that video is still the one giving me the most views every month. Like, let's see. Yeah, this month alone, Padme's crotch has gotten 100,000 views, which is just insane. How much views does this video have in total? 3.3 million views. That Padme's crotch video alone has made me $3,300. So that's how, like, I mean, yeah, I don't mind showing you guys this if you're curious how much YouTubers actually make. This is how it looks if you get like a viral clip or a viral video. I mean, yeah, if I could make one of these clips every month, I'd be fine. But now I've managed to make one of these clips in 2 years, so, you know. But for those who manage to pull this off on a daily basis, you can imagine they make quite a lot of money. And this is a clip too, so if this was a longer video, this number would be about double, I would say. So if this was an 8-minute video, this would be at least, yeah, between $6,000 and $10,000. So No, not 2 years, maybe 1.5 years, Janice. I would say more. Yeah, about 1.5 years since I started doing the clips. I like how YouTube search 30%. What do people search for to get this clip? I'm curious. Audience. No, wait, it's under reached, I think. People search for. Do people seriously search? Okay, Padme I get, and then that's. Why do people search for crotch? Just the word crotch, and then they get Padme's crotch. What the? Harder Annie. Why do people search for Harder Annie on YouTube? And then they get my clip. Harder Anakin. What the? Who goes to YouTube to search for Harder Annie or Harder Anakin? Are you kidding me? I gotta see what else people search for. Harder Annie, Harder Anakin, Padme Hot, Darth Talon, Riona. I don't even know what that is. Padme's crotch. 362 people has actually searched for Padme's crotch and got in my video. Padme is worth it. Feet on crotch. What the hell? Andor theme. Padme jumps on animal. That's very specific. Crotch shot. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Hot Padme. Pixel Joker 95. What the hell? Princess Leia bikini. Rings of Power. What the hell? So many of these random. Fortnite Padme. Padme sexy. Sexy Star Wars. Oh man, those are some interesting. Yeah, it's fun to look at your analytics sometimes to see what the hell, especially for videos like this. But yeah, that's what like clips can do. You know, if I was able to deliver just like one of these clips a month or every 2 months even, you know, I'd be set. I'd be set. Right now, I'm getting way too little views for. Yeah, doing this full time basically, but it's getting there. You can see. I mean, I don't know. I can show you all the numbers and stuff here. If you guys right now, well, I guess you can see if I go. Yeah, I mean now I'm basically showing you everywhere. Why not? You know, I have nothing to hide. You can see how much my clips channel makes per month. Not a lot. But as you can see, the numbers are going up now with this. So this was episode 1 of Ahsoka. Did not do very well. Episode 2 actually going up and getting some decent views. So I hope I can keep that up. Yeah, I know most YouTubers probably don't show you their analytics, but whatever. As you can see, you know, $300 minus 50% tax. That's not even going to pay 20% of my bills. Does that make sense? But yeah, now you know how much money YouTubers make, roughly, kind of. Hope you find that interesting. I've always liked to be transparent with you all. And that's also why every little donation or senator membership or anything like that, it helps out a ton. Because, like we say in Swedish, många bäckar små. I don't know what that's in English, to be honest. Yeah, I realized I should probably have made some type of clip about Hera's ass. I don't know why people are obsessed with it. Like, I didn't even think about that when I watched any of the Ahsoka episodes. And then I go to Reddit or Twitter, and people are posting, like, pictures of, yeah, her ass. And I was like, what? Why are Star Wars fans so, I don't know, horny or something? Like, even the clip yesterday I did, the one where I said, this is not a good idea, and it was like, Chopper, Jason, and then Hera, and people were like, "Oh, I see what you did there," and I was like, "I just took a screenshot with them. Why do?" Yeah, so I don't know. How's it going, Sammy Sosa? Good to see you. How are you doing? Yeah, YouTube changes a lot all the time, Alexion. I mean, now they want you to make shorts, but the shorts don't make any money unless you get hundreds of thousands of views on every short, or hundreds of millions a month, basically. Yeah, that was the fact that people go to YouTube and search "Harder Annie" and then my clip comes up. That's just funny. Oh, you've already gotten the shirt, Sammy. I am very happy you have. Thank you again for picking up the shirt. So thank you for the donations, man. Sammy, We should get you a donation sound. I used to do like the top donator per month got to pick a donation sound. I just haven't streamed too much the last couple of months or gotten too many donations. But I think with your support the last 30 days, you definitely deserve to pick a new donation sound. So if you have a Twitter or Instagram, or otherwise just email me, Sammy, okay? And we'll sort something out. You can pick out a new donation sound for I'll have to check the Streamlabs stuff. You need to cater that audience more. I know, but it's hard. I don't want to like clickbait. But I realized today, like I saw, okay, I do not want to really out any channels because I feel like that just, that has backfired before. But I did see some channel where it was like literally episode 4 trailer, Anakin meets Ahsoka. And then it's like a thumbnail of like Anakin with some photoshopped armor, and everyone clicks it. And I was like, what the hell is this? And then you go in and it's just some guy talking for 10 minutes about episode 3. And I was like, how does he get away with this? And it was like 5 videos in a row. Grogu, and there was a big picture of Grogu with like fighting someone with a lightsaber. And it's like Grogu and Sabine becomes the first Mandalorian Jedi. And I was like, what? And then you go into the video and it has nothing to do with the title at all. It's like, what? Just a clip of all the ass shots in Star Wars. There must be a few. I guess I gotta do something like that. I should just make a clip like called "Star Wars Fans Are Thirsty" or something like that, and then I'll just have a thumbnail of like Hera's ass. I don't know. No shame, right? Jenny Shine, how's it going? Good to see you. This stream just went from talking about Padme. We went from Ahsoka to talking about channel financials and Padme and Ahsoka, and then Hera's ass. I don't know. Yeah, Jenny Shine, we're talking about a lot of different things this stream, okay? Thirsty Star Wars updates, indeed. I'm hoping to kick off a Middle Earth updates. I just don't want to run another channel by myself. It's going to be too much work with this channel, the main channel, and the Disc Golf channel. But I was planning to start the Middle Earth updates together with Sam, because then we just basically split all the work between us. But he hasn't, I think he's a bit busy right now. But we've got the channel set up, and the goal is to kick it off at least when something more interesting happens, like Rings of Power Season 2 or something. Right now, it's not too much happening in the Lord of the Rings Tolkien universe, but yeah, that's the goal. Star Wars OnlyFans. What is that supposed to be? Am I supposed to pose in Star Wars gear or something? And then, yeah, I don't think so. I'm not that desperate for money, okay? It's like even if I'm not making much from YouTube and it's like it's not going that well for my channels, I'm not gonna sink that low, okay? Get in that Leia bikini. Yeah. I just set the OnlyFans like you gotta pay $1,000. I'd subscribe in a heartbeat. Oh my god. Yeah. Don't believe Elliot, everyone. He's older than Pornhub. Well, I know. What was that title? No, what did it say? Man with. Okay, I don't know. This stream is gonna get freaking unmonetized because I've noticed that. I think it detects when you swear. So there was one stream a couple of weeks ago where I just said the F word quite a lot, and I do that now because I don't really care why. Like it's not like that's too bad thing to say. But the stream got like limited ads because of that. I think it's because of that. It doesn't really say. It just said limited ads. I've never had that, and I was like, maybe it's because I was swearing a lot. So if I keep talking about Pornhub and stuff, that's probably gonna get demonetized too. But yeah, I still wonder to this day who took my videos and uploaded them to Pornhub. Because even like Elgato, I remember when I was sponsored by them, like, hey, is this you? And I was like, yeah, it's my videos, but it's not me who's uploaded them. And then it made me think, how did they find that? Like, how did... yeah, I don't know. So weird. I remember it even it popped up on Reddit, like, oh my god, Battle for Update is on Pornhub, and no one actually checked the video and saw that it's It was just my normal Battlefront news videos that someone uploaded there. They just saw the title and was like, "What the fuck?" You know, that was so weird. Yeah, and my friends did not stop teasing me about it, even though it was like, yeah, it wasn't. They were always like, when we were meeting new people, "Oh, do you know that guy's in Pornhub?" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up, come on." When is the KOTOR remake coming out? I don't know. We haven't heard much about it, to be honest. So yeah, a lot of good stories around the channel. Hello there, hello and Bob, how's it going? And yeah, a little shout out again to Audible. If you guys, I know the book Battle Scars wasn't very good, but if you guys really want any Star Wars, or no, not just Star Wars, any book, you want to hear Andy Serkis read Lord of the Rings, you want to hear Sam Witwer read a Star Wars book, you know, there's really every book you could ever think of on Audible. Sign up through that link, and again, I've said it before, many of you probably know it. That is literally the best deal I have ever had for 10 years, because if you guys sign up, you get a book for free. I get paid $15, and you can cancel it. Don't pay a single dime. They still pay me. So I win, you win, they lose. Obviously, if they heard me say this, they probably would remove me from the program. But yeah, it's really like the best deal for everyone. So if you haven't made use of the free Audible trial, do it. You benefit from it. I benefit from it. But yeah. Yeah, I saw the reviews serious, and then I was like, I'm not even gonna bother reading this, to be honest. Where did you get that animated wallpaper? It's called the Wallpaper Engine. Actually, I've had this one for almost too long now, so maybe we could find a more interesting one. Let's see. Maybe like an Ahsoka one. Wallpaper. Oh wait, I probably have to go into Steam first. Wallpaper Engine. There it is. Launch Wallpaper Engine. Okay, see if we can find some cool. Let's get this train back on tracks. Did you notice Jason Sindula was wearing the same type of shoulder pauldron his dad wore, green with that white symbol? I didn't notice that until I saw your comments. So well spotted, David. I think that was pretty cool that they did that. Let's see if we can find something, some cool. Maybe someone's done like an Ahsoka search. Ahsoka. See if there's any cool animated. Is there no like newer one from maybe top rated, most popular this month? Let's do that. See how this one looks. Well, I want an animated one. I don't want just a fixed one. That's kind of pointless. Oh wait, I don't remember. How do I actually see this? How do I watch the... Wait, let's try. If I click subscribe... Oh, maybe it has to download first. Because I want to, you know... Oh, shit. Oh, that's pretty neat, actually. So they basically just added some smoke to the... That's pretty cool, though. Let's see what else there is. Let's just do most popular year instead. What's this? Oh, that's okay. Talking about yeah, thirsty Star Wars fans. This one looks pretty neat. Let's see how this one looks. But I do kind of like this one because this one's pretty good too. But I think I prefer this one, to be honest. No, that's the wrong one. Shit, that was not the one I wanted. Not that one. There we go. Yeah, I might just go for this one. There wasn't too many cool Ahsoka ones, to be completely honest. That one, most of them they just take like an image and then put... I think the why I liked the Darth Vader one was because that was basically from Battlefront 2015. Someone just filmed a clip. Whereas most of these are just like an image that they've made some like effect on. It's not actually an animated background, if that makes sense. And it doesn't seem to be a whole lot of them with white lightsabers either. So I'm kind of tempted to just keep this one, to be honest, even though that's from Mandalorian. Can't you just take like most popular this week, maybe? See if there's anything new from the series. Doesn't seem like it really. This one is hard. It's hard to judge whether this is a cool one or not, depending on if it's moving or not. Look up harder, Annie. I don't know if I dare. I don't know if there's like not safe for work stuff here or not. There probably is. So I'm afraid this stream is gonna get like shut down if I do that. That's pretty cool. I mean, but I'm gonna get this feel. I don't like that. It would have been cool if just the lightsaber was moving, but the entire background is moving. This is almost making me nauseated just by looking at it. So maybe not. Let's see. Nothing else cool. I mean, Ahsoka. I don't have to have Ahsoka. I had Palpatine before, but I figured Ahsoka was a bit relevant to this one, though. Could be pretty neat. Let's take a look at that one. That's the end of Clone Wars Season 7. Wait, which background, Jenny Shine? The one that... that's pretty decent, I guess, with the smoke moving, but... I don't know. So far, I'm not convinced, really. Maul versus Ahsoka is pretty badass, though. Let's see how that one looks. Thrawn background. Yeah, let's see if there's a Thrawn one. Good point. Thrawn. It's always these old images. There's probably nothing new, which makes sense, because there hasn't been any... Oh, shit. Oh, this one actually had audio. Can you guys hear this? Oh, okay, yeah. They've actually put the entire scene as a background. This would get extremely repetitive to have as a wallpaper. And I'll probably gonna get the entire stream taken down. Okay, let's change before I get the stream taken down. Yeah, I think if I let that run for long enough, the stream would probably get like shut down. Oh well, let's stick with this for now. Or did we find any Thrawn stuff? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. I'm fine with that. Let's stick with that one for now. But yeah, it's the wallpaper engine. I think it's free or maybe like $10 or something. I think it's pretty cool to have an animated background. But yeah, I don't want to have an entire scene as your background, because imagine that's going to be incredibly repetitive after a while. If you're going to basically hear and see the same scene 1,000 times a day. Some fans really enjoy the Ahsoka Bo-Katan moment in Clone Wars. I don't quite remember. Oh, in Season 7? What do you think about the Starkiller rumors in Ahsoka? I don't know. Maruk could be Galen Marek, but I feel like they're not focusing a lot on Maruk. They're just having him as kind of like a side character, so I feel like maybe he's just gonna be that. And they're not gonna actually... And this voice didn't... Obviously, the voice was very muffled, so it was hard to say if that was Sam Witwer. But I think that's probably not Starkiller, but it's not impossible either. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say if I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't really know. Thoughts on Shin? I don't know. She seems kind of interesting, like a bit of a lost Jedi. maybe not entirely super evil, but just groomed to be evil by Baylan, and she always looks so shocked, like she's staring like this no matter what's happening. It's kind of weird, but I feel like she might be someone who could turn later in the season. But I don't know. I like the relationship between Shin and Baylan. I think that's an interesting master and apprentice relationship, to be honest. We do see dismemberment in Jedi Survivor. Do you think we could actually see dismemberment in Star Wars shows and movies again? I don't know. I always thought that was weird because like they did it a little bit in the prequels with like Anakin and such, but they always show it kind of vaguely. But the weirdest thing to me is still in that the first freaking Star Wars movie, A New Hope, we basically see Obi-Wan cutting off an arm and there's blood everywhere. And then every single dismemberment after that in Star Wars ever, there's no blood, which is kind of weird. Like, I mean, obviously it gets cauterized, but you know, the vein in the middle should still squirt out some blood, shouldn't it? Or maybe it's so hot that it just gets like a very thick cauterization. I don't know. But dismemberments overall, I don't know why they couldn't have mild versions of it. Didn't they even have decapitation in Clone Wars? I remember when Ahsoka like decapitated a bunch of Mandalorians, didn't she? Yeah, Shin took up the Death Sticks offer indeed. Everything is strange in Tatooine indeed. But they probably realized that yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense either with the blood being like that after yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty curious how like Star Wars Outlaws is gonna turn out compared to something like Starfield. I wonder if, I mean, I don't think I've seen a game with as much hype as Starfield currently has for a long time. So I'm quite curious about if Starfield is gonna be able to live up to the hype. Since, as far as I understand, it is solely single player. There's no co-op. There's no multiplayer at all. So yeah, I'm a little bit curious about that. Yeah, the scene. Yeah, that's true. The scene with with Savage and Maul. Yeah, I remember when Savage doesn't he like throw his lightsaber and it just decapitates everyone in that room or something. Oh, it's a Starfield has full modding support from launch. That's interesting. I mean, that means it's probably not going to take long before we get Star Wars in there. Starfield will be epic but buggy. Yeah, could probably be. I think the review embargo is today too, from all the people who have played it now for a long time. So it's going to be interesting to see what people think. But it's been in the works for like 10 years, hasn't it? Fortnite is kind of making a comeback. Isn't Fortnite like always popular, or has it gone down a bit? But yeah, when the Ahsoka stuff drops, I'm definitely gonna jump back into some Fortnite streams. Quillo, hello there. What did I miss? Well, we talked about Talked about some Ahsoka. We talked about some YouTube economics. We talked about what else? Thirsty Star Wars fans. But yes, that too. We talked about a lot. Exactly. In work since Fallout 4 released. I don't think I've ever played a Bethesda game, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've ever played a Bethesda or Ubisoft game. Ever. Which is kind of weird. I don't know, Janice. It seems like it's in a pretty good state right now, but it seemed also like a lot of people were annoyed with it, so it seems like it's a classic DICE rotation, and I don't know. I saw some rumor about them trying to do another restart of Battlefield, which I don't know. I mean, if they're putting in so much work at Battlefield 2042, at least let it live. Are they going to pull another Battlefront 2 where they fix the game and just drop it again? I don't know. I imagine Starfield needs a mega hard drive space. That's a good question. Starfield PC size. 125 gigabyte. So that's... What do you mean? HDDs are not compatible, so it has to be in an SSD? Interesting. I've never seen a game that has to be on an SSD. 125, that's like the same as Warzone or something like that. But yeah, I hope I hear back from Bethesda and maybe I get a chance to try it out. Would be cool to do it on stream with you guys. Was the release last year or 2 years ago? 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, right? Pretty sure it was. As a true saying, Starfield is perfect for Star Wars fans. I mean, yeah, it is because the gameplay and everything is basically what we've wanted in the Star Wars universe, but this isn't the Star Wars universe. And then if they now do have modding support from launch, it definitely could become something big. But, you know, it's, for me at least, never the same thing if it's the mod compared to if it's an official, it's supported stuff. Well, it seems like it's about the same, Janice. Or actually, Battlefield 2042 seemed like it launched in a much worse state than Battlefront 2 in terms of the game and gameplay. And Battlefront 2 had the loot boxes and shit, of course. But yeah, the live service, the 2 years after the Battlefront 2 launch, yeah, that was about... Yeah, that was probably about the time where it started turning around a little bit, I think, especially 3 years after. But yeah, I would say that yes, Battlefield 2042 has not had as good of a live service as Battlefront 2 did. Definitely not. Well, Luke, that sounds like that sounds interesting, unusual. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Fortnite seems like it's... I mean, obviously, when there's a new season and battle pass, there's a bunch of new skins, but maybe the gameplay doesn't change enough. Because I mean, yeah, they seem to tweak the weapon rotation a little bit and tweak the map, but it's still in the core. It's the same kind of game. Clone Wars season was 1 year after launch. Yes, that is true. It did take a while though, because that was the first Clone Wars season. Just had... Was it Obi-Wan first, and then Grievous, and then Anakin, and then Dooku? I don't remember which order they came in, to be honest. But yeah, I wonder if we're ever gonna get another Star Wars multiplayer game, something we can really dig into properly and make some exciting content about. Single player games are always really hard to do that with, but hopefully Outlaws will still be something good. See you later, Martin. Thank you for dropping by. I gotta go pretty soon too, heading out with a couple of friends for dinner, but no rush. I also want to have a chance to discuss some Ahsoka with you all. Next week I'll hopefully be able to do it on the Wednesday instead. And yeah, I don't know. If I get access to Starfield, I might do some streams on it. At least one, you know, to try out the game and see if it's something that gets me hooked or not. But we'll see. What other games are you guys excited for? Star Wars or non-Star Wars? Do you have any games in the pipeline this year, next year that you really like? Yeah. Have you not seen a single trailer on Starfield? I've probably years ago, but honestly, I've just kind of not watched anything Starfield related, and now that I wasn't planning to play it, and now I'm like, maybe that would be fun. Jump onto the game completely blind. Usually, if I play a game, I've done every single research. I've watched all the trailers, watched all the analyses, I've played the beta, and blah blah blah. I know everything, but jumping onto Starfield completely blind could maybe be something fun to do and experience with you guys on the stream. So, yeah. How much of Hayden do you think we will get? Can't wait to see him. I mean, if the rumors are true, maybe we'll hear some type of, we'll see some kind of flashback. So I would imagine we might get a similar amount of Hayden to what we did in that flashback episode with Obi-Wan and Hayden training, something like that. And I think it would probably only be one episode, the fifth one, as far as I understand, maybe. Baldur's Gate 3 also seems like everyone's saying it's so good. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Oh, they're actually doing DLC to Cyberpunk. Spider-Man 2, PlayStation 5, and Space Marine 2, and Destiny 2 Final Shape. That's a lot of good games. Yeah, I wish I had that excitement for games. Like I said in the last stream, I've started playing some classic World of Warcraft, and that I'm having a lot of fun with. But it's like, yeah, not really the kind of game that I would stream, you know. And it's nothing new really. It's like I'm getting excited for a game that I played 15 years ago. But I wish there was a new game to get really hooked on for me. I never played Star Wars Galaxies, but that would be cool with a Star Wars like Starfield. The more Hayden, the better indeed. I would like to make a little bit more videos on the main channel again. I kind of missed that, you know, making those longer videos more regularly. I mean, the last one was only 6 days ago, which isn't too bad. And it's getting okay views, I guess. 9,000, the previous one got 23. Yeah, I mean, I can't really complain about that. If I can get 10,000 for a video now on my main channel, I'm happy. But it's like always, when I have Battlefront in the thumbnail or Battlefront in the title, it gets 20,000 instead. If I have Outlaws in the title, I get 5,000 instead. It's kind of weird. If it's Battlefront, it's the best. If I have a vague title, it's a middle. If it's specifically about Outlaws, it gets the least. I mean, what's my biggest Outlaws video is like 4,000, 6,000. Jedi Survivor, and my Jedi Survivor review got, I guess, 20,000, so that's okay, but still. I missed Lego Star Wars last year. Did really well. So yeah, I gotta find a new game to get onto it on the main channel. Yeah, I kind of want to jump back to Jedi Survivor at some point on the stream, since I mean, I rushed through the entire game to make the content before it was out, and then when it was out, I started streaming it, and then I only got part of the way through, and then stopped playing. But yeah. Thank you, Jenny Shine. Appreciate it. And yeah, again, I think they were, from what I've heard, they were actually working on the proper DLC story for Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, like Mandalorian stuff, not just characters, but actual content. And I feel like it's so stupid of them to not do that, because it's still bringing in record sales. Like in the UK, Skywalker Saga is still topping the charts, and that's 1.5 years after the release. So it's kind of weird that they're not doing the DLC, that they canceled it, because I think that would sell well, and I would love to jump back into that game. I really enjoyed the game. Like, sure, the grind to 100% I kind of gave up on, and that was a little bit tedious, but actually just playing through the 9 movies through the game, just experiencing that was great. I love that. So yeah. Older Star Wars game revisits. I might do that too on the streams, especially with the Dark Forces remake. When that one drops, I'll definitely be making some content on that. Star Wars: The Old Republic, I gave that a chance a year or two ago. I don't remember exactly when. I did stream it a little bit. I just didn't get hooked on it. I didn't quite like the combat. It just felt like a worse version of World of Warcraft, in my opinion. And I didn't find the story and stuff too compelling. I don't know. It felt like it was a lot to get into, so I wasn't. Yeah, didn't really get hooked on it. I still think that some of those Lego Star Wars clips are what got me the most views. You know, it was crazy how much. Yeah, just uploading a bunch of cinematics from that did. What class story was it you tried? Oh man, it was something Sith warrior. No, I don't really remember what I played as, to be honest. Yeah, it's a shame that it was hurt by the performance issues, Obegone, definitely. But it's still, I think it did well. Like, they are obviously already working on a third game, and yeah, it did well. I wonder how much more they can improve. The third game always seemed to be where the trouble is at, whether it's Battlefront 3, or it's Half-Life 3, or it's Portal 3, or it's Force Unleashed 3. It's always the third game that struggles, gets cancelled or whatever, so we'll see. No, I'm pretty sure it was a dark side one, Helixion. The Lego games are definitely niche, but I'm curious. I don't know how niche they are. Like, I don't. There's probably no numbers on it, but Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga sale, 3.2 million copies, but that was just the 2 first weeks, surpassing global sales of all previous Lego console game. 5 million copies since June 2022. So I don't know if that's good. I think that's pretty good. Sales. Let's see, sales. So I don't know, Battlefront 2 sales? I think Battlefront was way higher. Yeah, 9 million copies. 10.53 million copies at some point. Oh, that was only the first month. So yeah, Battlefront 2 sold like double. That is, why would they not make that game then? What the fuck? I did like. So how much is Fallen Order sale? Fallen Order sales. More than 10 million by 2020. So Battlefront 2 still sold more, I think. List of Star Wars game sales. I don't know how accurate. This is from 2020. Apparently Lego Star Wars is the complete saga is at the #1 spot here, actually. With 15 million. And then it's Battlefront 1, 14 million. Battlefront 2, 10.5 million. Fallen Order, 10 million. So, I don't know. It seems pretty hard to find the accurate numbers because, you know, they never just go out and say it most of the time. And a lot of these numbers are at least 2 or 3 years old. But nevertheless, Battlefront is high up there. And I think Battlefront 1 still sold more than Battlefront 2, despite Battlefront 2 actually being a better game. So, yeah. Yeah, Destiny 3 too. Chicken, hello there. How's it going? Yeah, I think those kind of sales, like, just make a good multiplayer game and cash in on the battle pass or expansions or whatever. Microtransactions are always, people always just when they hear microtransactions, it's like do it in a fine way, and I don't care. There's a lot of games that do it in a good way. I'd rather get a lot of players in there and then monetize it. So imagine a free-to-play multiplayer Star Wars game. That would get a lot of players, I guarantee. Exactly, Alexion. How's it going, Autumn? How are you doing? But yeah, I don't know why. I mean, multiplayer games are obviously the way to go. Or single-player games like Starfield, obviously doing amazing. Jedi Survivor doing well. But the multiplayer part, I mean, I don't know how many multiplayer players there are, but people, you know, playing Fortnite, Warzone, Counter-Strike, Overwatch. But there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there. Just create something Star Wars multiplayer. And not today, chicken. I gotta go pretty soon. Free to play, not the move. Yeah, I'm not torn. Having it free to play means you could launch with less content, and you might be thinking that's a bad thing, but I was purely thinking in reference to Battlefront, because a Battlefront 3 for $60 would be practically impossible to break even for the amount of work it would cost to do a game of that magnitude if it was something else. That's why I think Battlefront 3 is not the way to go. As much as I would love to see that, I think that a Star Wars multiplayer game that just focused on that, whether it was heroes versus villains or looter shooter or something like that just focused on one thing, not trying to have every era, every kind of combat, every type of multiplayer, single player, co-op, big multiplayer, small multiplayer, flying ground, you know, it's just so much to do. That's why I think Yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah, that's true. The cheating part is that's why multiplayer free to play is hard. It's just that it's very hard to make a multiplayer game now that is not free. I mean, Counter-Strike free now, Fortnite free, Warzone is free. Rainbow Six Siege, I'm not entirely sure. Overwatch 2 is not free, right? But I feel like most of the PUBGs, that still costs, right? But I feel like most big multiplayer games these days are free. And I mean, it's fine to make a very limited edition free and then just have like, okay, you pay $10 and you get a bunch of stuff, you know? But just to have that threshold to get into the game, you know? Tom, how's it going? Hello there. Yeah, that's true, Halixion. If a game launches like half ready, I mean, honestly, if they just released a Star Wars free-to-play game that didn't have any microtransactions at launch, and I mean, that's probably the way to go, to like release the game and purely focus on getting players in there and making players happy for the first couple of months, and maybe even longer depending on how well the game is doing. And then they can be like, okay, here's the first season pass and content drop. If you want to support the game, I mean, that's the thing. People want to like, just look at Battlefront 2. If people are really happy, they do not mind supporting the game. And if you have a game that releases free, treats the customers and players well, doesn't even have microtransactions at launch. Look at when Battlefront 2 dropped the uh, Celebration Edition. Most people don't need that. Most people already had all the skins and everything. I didn't have to buy anything, but I still bought the Celebration Edition. And as far as I heard, the Celebration Edition sold like 3 or 4 times more than EA had estimated, showing that, yeah, if you do a good Star Wars game, you treat your fans well, they'll support your microtransactions or expansions or additions or whatever it is, you know. But if you launch like Battlefront 2 and try to shove down the microtransactions down your throat, then no. So I think that's the way to go. Build a community first, build a player base, and then you can monetize it. Apex is another really good example of a game that successfully launched free to play. But yeah, it's tricky. It seems like no one is even daring to touch Star Wars multiplayer at all, which is kind of sad, to be honest. I just wish that they would say, I just want to hear EA or really any other company be like, oh, we're working on a new Star Wars multiplayer experience. That's all. Just tweet that out. Get the hope up. Oh, is Apex not doing too well now? I guess it's hard after a while to keep it up. I mean, I don't know. That game released quite a few years ago from like a blind drop. They just announced it and released it on the same day. I remember I played it quite a lot in the beginning and I thought it was really fun. Um, I don't know how it's kept up the last year or so though. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be a wrap for today. Heading out in a bit to have some dinner with friends. I don't know when the next stream will be. We'll see if I can get a hold of Bethesda, maybe get a Starfield code, as it would be fun to experience that with you guys on a live stream and see how that, well, see how the game is. Basically, from a blind perspective of not having watched or read up anything at all on the game. But we'll see. I mean, I could technically buy the game, but it's like $100, and I don't really feel like I can afford to spend that much on a game that I don't even know if I'm gonna play. So we'll see if I can get a hold of them somehow. But yeah, appreciate the chat as always, guys. We'll probably see you in a stream, at least before the next Ahsoka episode. Probably, yeah, early next week. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Ever hear the tragedy of Darth Vader's wife?
No, I thought not. I thought not.
Ever hear the tragedy of Master Windu?
No, I thought not. I thought not.